one of the driving reasons that myself, Dr. Dan, and our whole team here at Freedom Family Chiropractic, one of the driving reasons that we have for taking care of people are to see people's lives changed. And so we've asked Annette to sit in here, and I just want to ask her a couple questions so that she can share from a mother's perspective, but just share a few things that have made a difference in her life with her health. And again, this is why, we get all pumped about this, and we sit in here to talk about it as a meeting, like when there's a success, when there's something that is a positive change. And so I kind of dive in. I know one of the biggest things that moms are dealing with right now, and again, not to exclude the dads, but just like this is where we're at in our lives right now, is anxiety. And the anxiety of Annette was just saying, like, when I think of something, it's connected to like all these things. Like there's books about this, right? It's like spaghetti brain. It's like, it's literally connected to all those things. But I remember the day when you told me that you went through your day, and you said normally I would have just been like choked off by anxiety, and you were like, I felt this new calm. Can you just like tell us just a second, or no, more than a second, but like tell us a minute about that moment, and then maybe just a little bit about the hard work you put in to get there, but how it was life-changing.
So one of the moments that's really clear in my mind is when I was driving on the highway with my kids, 3 of them in the car, and that is usually something that really would stress me out, where I'm like gripping the steering wheel, I'm like, deep breathing, please do not talk to me from the back seat. No, I cannot answer all of your 55 questions right now. And it was always stressful to me. Sometimes I had to sing while I would drive on the highway. And this day, after doing a lot of things here, some detox and taking supplements, I realized that I was driving on the highway and I felt completely calm, and I was able to talk to my kids, and they asked me questions and I was able to answer them, and I was like, whoa, I didn't think this was possible.
So often people, and I do consults with people, and they're like, oh, I've just been an anxious kid, like since, I was like, 10 years old or something. But the message I want to give to people is sometimes we can unlock those things in our brain, and we can rewind. And when we're looking at the chemical, the physical, the emotional components of things, it's really beautiful when we can just pull out our best self. And like you said, be able to talk to our kids.
Which we want to do, right?
Yeah. So that's really cool. And that, again, she's put in some work. We've done a lot of detox, like finding the root cause of why our thyroid was not functioning at its best, and why the brain fog was still there. Another thing, though, is you got adjusted during your pregnancy. Mm-hmm. And I'm married to a chiropractor, and so I was like, oh my gosh, how does anyone get it through a pregnancy without getting adjusted? But from a different perspective, can you tell us how your pregnancies were different, being adjusted or not being adjusted?
Sure. Well, and you'll learn my age. So I had my last baby at 40, and I literally mean this, that I felt better at 40 during my pregnancy than I did with my baby number 2 at 27. So I had my first child when I was 24, and it felt pretty good. I was pretty young. I felt pretty good. Probably low energy though. But, and then my second child I had at 27, and I had some pretty major lower back pain from then on. I don't know that it really ever fully went away. It was kind of always there. And then fast forward to, had another baby, and then later came here and I did a corrective care plan. And that lower back pain that had started waking me up every morning when I was maybe around 36, I was like, I'm too young to wake up in pain. Anyway, so I came here and I did the corrective care plan, and that lower back pain really went away. So then when I had my little girl at 40, I really wanted to try it. I was kind of nervous because I had never done that before, during pregnancy. How does this work,
And especially when you get adjusted on your side and you're like,
yeah,
wait a second,
and
how?
the big belly, yeah. but it was so good. And I mean, I felt great. Like my back felt great the whole time, even at the end when you're, huge. So, and I really think that it helped with my labor too. Like, you blocked some of that out, so I don't know that I can give you the details. But I remember thinking, wow, I think that all of those adjustments, and then you do them more frequently toward the end, like I really think they made a difference in the labor and delivery process. So.
I just love hearing these stories because the Webster technique specifically is looking at the pelvis, aligning it so that the baby can drop, turn, and rotate as he or she needs to. There are some midwives that won't accept a client unless they agree to chiropractic care because they notice such an improvement of the whole labor process. It's so exciting, and I love that part. But another thing that Annette brought up is the fact that she did the work before too. So a lot of us don't know that if we have altered postural distortions, or we have stresses in our spine, or scoliosis, or a lack of a curve, or too much of a curve, those things can be not just causing pain but causing dysfunction. And so she worked on correcting those so that her body would hold the adjustments. And then I love to hear that was the best pregnancy was the one at 40. I'm like, here we go, girls. Okay, well, I appreciate you sharing. Is there anything else that you want to tell other mamas? I don't know, just in our spot. Oh, you said something earlier.
I don't know if this is the thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I feel like if I could share one thing, and it's been a pretty new thought recently, I feel like now, from everything I've learned, that when I feel anxiety, if I can take a deep breath and remember, it's really my body or my mind is trying to get rid of something bad. So whether it's toxins or a bad thought or whatever, so I try to reframe it and think, oh, this is my, me trying to get rid of something bad, rather than letting the anxiety itself be scary. Because sometimes you're afraid of the anxiety.
And you feel like something's wrong with you.
Yes.
Yes. Well, the one thing I was going to pull out that you mentioned was that you're worth it as a mom. How often do we line up our appointments for our kids, and just it does feel so good to take care of yourself, because you are worth it. And I don't know how long Holly wanted this video to be, but we're really happy to share these things with you. And thank you for your time.
Thanks.
And all your hard work.
Thank you.